And in order for society to get on board with me and to help me, we have to understand what's going on behind these walls. What's going on? Why don't the offenders, the inmates, the convicts, why don't they want to change? Why don't they want to get on board? Is there something going on that is stopping that? They've created a predatory market that makes our families pay for everything that's going on. I want to work on real solutions to these problems. How can we come together as a community and say, let's fix this?
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Empire's Podcast of the Week. I'm Steve Ogden, your host. It's good to see you guys. Good to be here. I got the bad monitor today, so the recording probably won't be as good as it usually is. Pops will enhance sound as best we can, and we'll do the best we can. On that note, I'm going to kind of change the podcast of the week. I had told you guys last week I was going to talk about 211 Crew and things like that. I still plan on doing that. I'm getting some stuff ready, and I want to be on the good monitor when I do talk about that because it's going to be a dicey, hot topic. So today I just want to go over some reform stuff and talk about reform as a whole and my viewpoints on reform. My vision for Empire, again, a little bit, talk about that. And talk about where I'm headed and where I'm going and what I see and my ambitions, my vision, my dream for this, for where I'm going. So I hear the word reform all the time. Oh, prison reform. I hear it on the news. Prison reform failing. There's a crime wave in America. Prison reform, we got to let guys out. We got to give them tablets. We got to give them all these different TVs and, all this stuff that when I hear it, I don't hear it as reform. I hear, oh, we get a bunch of privileges. Oh, they're going to bring us an Xbox. Cool, I can waste more of my day. Don't get me wrong, the guys around me, they get excited when they hear Xbox or a bigger TV or board games, things to do, and I totally agree that kind of stuff stops violence within these walls. It keeps people in their cells, it keeps people out of the way. But long term, when I think of reform, I flash back and then I look forward and I say, geez, when have I ever been reformed? When have I ever gotten the help that I need to come home and make it? When have I ever been given these opportunities that they talk about on CNN and Fox News and all these other news channels? Oh, we're reforming these guys. We're helping them. Look at all this stuff we're doing to get them better so they come home and don't go back. I see it on TV all the time. But I've lived in here since I was pretty much 13 years old, off and on. And don't get me wrong. I mean, there's stuff that goes on here. There are classes and there are bits and pieces of things that help people. But it's like everything that they are doing in here is so small, so hard to get. It's like grasping oil or grabbing a hold of the wind. It's almost there. You can feel it, but you can't hold on to it. And so what is my view on reform? My view on reform is not bringing Xbox to us. My view on reform is not saying here's tablets. And don't get me, I want tablets, but that's not what I think reform is. I think reform is bringing in jobs, bringing in work, bringing in educational programs, bringing in drug and alcohol treatment, bringing in job training. So, I talked in one of my videos, I called it Utopia, I think. I don't want to go rehash that whole podcast, but that's what I think about when I think about reform. I think about, everybody in here getting a degree, everybody in here having treatment or going to trauma therapy, because what do we get out of laying in our bed watching our TV all day? Who gets to go home better from that? If I am doing the same thing in here day after day after day, it's going to be the same thing that I do when I come home. I really believe that, and I say that because I've seen it time and time again. So if I'm laying in my bed all day watching a TV or, even reading a book, depending on what that book is, but if that's all I do all day, what am I going to do when I come home? I'm not prepared for the world. I'm not prepared for job. I'm not prepared for school. I'm going to come home lazy and not ready to do much. So I want to see reform happen in the ways of bring us some education. Not let 5 or 7, 10 guys get a degree. Let everybody in here get a degree. Don't let only a few people go to drug and alcohol TC program. Let everybody that needs it go. When I add up the amount of money that they're spending, supposedly they allocate $50,000, $55,000 per inmate, depending on where you are and what's going on. But let's just say $50,000 an inmate. If you took $50,000 and put it towards me, just myself, and said, "Hey, here is $50,000 for Stephen Ogden for 1 year," what could you do with that? And I'm curious. I'm asking you guys a question. If you looked at my life and said, "I want to fix Stephen. I have 2 years to do it, so I have $100,000." What could you guys do for me? Do you guys got any ideas? Because when I think about that, I think about what we could do for everybody else in here. And that's my view of reform. That's partially my view of reform. Now, are we in here because we broke the law, committed crimes that we need to be punished? Yes. And that's another thing. That's where I stand as Empire. I don't think that there should be some max exodus from the prisons. I don't think they just need to release everybody and give everybody all these privileges. And, it's just some happy, we're in prison. We broke the law. Yeah, we need to be punished. But 95% of us are coming home. 95%. So take my freedom, take our freedom, punish us a little, but make us better. Or help us help ourselves get better. That's kind of my view on reform. Something that's been frustrating me because DUPI came in the other day, the Denver University Prison Arts Initiative, and they help with theater. They bring in, I think in some of the prisons they have some art classes. They teach people to draw. They do art contests. So in a sense, they're kind of normalizing prison. They're reducing the shock value. Hey, these guys are doing something. They're human beings. And when I look at it from that viewpoint, I'm like, wow, that's cool that they're doing that. But then I get frustrated and I see DUPI and I say, you guys have this voice. You guys have this ability to change. You have a whole entire university. You have students. You have a voice to help bring change to my world. And I want to see that voice be used not for a sideshow, not parading a bunch of inmates around the stage and saying, "Hey, look, I got these guys to dance and do performance arts." That's cool. These guys are able to express themselves like that. But I want to see that voice, and not just with DUPI, but with everybody that's able to come in and help and use their voice. The church programs, all that. Like, let's get some real reform going on. Let's get some real change going on. Let's get us coming home better. That's that. So with what my vision is for Empire, part of my vision is I want to have eventually, I want to see a news, maybe not really a newspaper, but some sort of, I guess a newspaper in a sense, passed around the system, all throughout the system, not just Colorado. I want it in every prison. I want to see inmates, convicts, offenders, whatever term that they use. I want to see them be able to express themselves through their art with my newspaper. I want to see their writings, because there's so many guys in here that want to express themselves and express what's in their heart about what they're feeling. They do it through writing, they do it through art, they do all that. And I'd like to see my newspaper be able to express that. Short stories, articles, things like that. But I also want to get the news out about what's going on behind these walls. I would love to see guys in my situation as reporters, in a sense, reporting from behind the walls. I want to see other guys podcasting. I'm having a website built right now. And I want to give a shout out real quick too to Jeff and his husband, Zach, who are helping build my website. They're putting all the work. They got their team building it. Thank you for that. And on that note, I want I want to say that my website is going to be, there's going to be a nice news media section where people, other offenders can podcast, can vlog, post their artwork, post their stories, post what's going on behind these walls. Tell the truth, tell the real story, not with the DOC spin on it, not with the media spin on it. But I want to be able to express the truth about what's going on back here, what's going on in here, and what's going on in every other prison across the United States. So I envision Empire as a news media corporation with an emphasis in criminal justice, prison reform that reaches anybody that wants to hear about what's going on behind the walls. And I want to tell the truth. I'm not just going to say, hey, inmate such and such says, I want to be able to say, this is the story, this is what's going on, and I don't want to put any judgment on either side. If the police are in the right, I'm going to say the police are in the right. If the offenders are in the right, I'm going to say the offenders are in the right. As a matter of fact, I'm going to tell the story, and I'm going to let you guys figure that out. And that's my goal, is to have a website where people across the United States can see guys from behind the walls reporting, talking, speaking, and, also I want to have a pen pal section on there, because I want to be able to have you guys out there that believe in reform reaching in here to give, support to these guys that need that kind of support. They need to hear from the community, bring about change. But, that's kind of my vision. That's kind of where my direction is going. And I need you guys to support. I want you guys to be a part of it. I want to see this grow. So, support me, man. If you guys look on my YouTube channel, you're going to see this part where you can like, where you can leave comments. Please do that. Please like me. Please subscribe.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
And on that note, I think I got a minute left, so I just want to thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for your support. And don't forget, like, leave comments, and I'll see you guys next week. Take care.